Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be working on the Tacoma. We bought a four-wheel camper that's going to be in at the end of this month on the 29th. We're going to go pick that up, and been camping a lot, been liking going camping with our little 3-year-old and stuff, but the ground tent has been a little difficult, and packing the truck, unpacking the truck. So we ended up going with the four-wheel camper, and today we're going to be doing a little prep to get it ready. Like I said, we're picking it up at the end of the month. So one of the things they like you to do is add a airbag system to help with the weight. So I ended up getting the air spring kit from Firestone. This is made for the Tacoma, so it has all the brackets and everything to go on, all the hardware. So today, like I said, we're going to be putting this on. The only thing that doesn't fit is this spring kit, because the Tacoma is lifted. This actually sits around on the axle itself to help support it. And because the truck is lifted, it actually sits above the axle. I ended up buying some steel at a supply store, and I'm not sure if I want to bolt it in yet or if I want to weld it on. I'm thinking of changing up the suspension on the Tacoma, so I don't know. I'm thinking of making this a bolt-in so I can undo it later instead of having to cut it off again. But I don't know. We'll see about this. I'm undecided. So with that, we're going to get started. We're going to take the wheel off and kind of walk you through the process of getting the truck ready for the four-wheel camper. The way this works, this bottom bracket is going to sit on the spring, and we're going to have to cut the bump stop off flush with the two brackets here. Or you can take it off, but I'm just going to end up cutting it. This bracket is going to sit right here. It's going to wrap around the spring, and it has supports to grab from the bottom. And this is what I mean. This is supposed to sit on the axle as support. Because I have heavy duty springs, it actually sits about 1.5 inches, 2 inches lower. So what we're gonna have to do is put it up and then extend the little tip just so it sits on the axle itself and gets rid of this little slop here for support. The airbag itself hooks up on the top section. It has a little hook that goes in here, and then a bolt that goes through the hole in the frame. Everything bolts up, and then it's going to sit right there. So we'll go ahead and start by cutting this off, putting the bracket on, measuring exactly how much we need to extend it, making that little piece, and then we'll go from there. Alright, little update. I ended up messing up a couple of times because I got the radius wrong on it. First time I messed up, I was trying to fix the radius and just ended up butchering the little piece. Second one, I got the radius right, but ended up cutting too far in to get the radius right. Ended up just being a little too short. Then finally got it fixed. So made a new bracket. Everything fits nice. It fits snug around the axle itself, and this top piece sits right up inside the bracket, up in the bracket this way. And then we'll bolt it into here, and then once I get the suspension fully figured out on the Taco, because I have a feeling it's going to get, I'm probably going to lower it a little bit. Once I sort it out, we'll take the bolts out and cut this bracket to the correct size and then weld everything in so it's nice and solid. But for now, I think the bolts are going to hold it just fine. And also on the bottom, the airbag's not going to be bolted in. We're going to use the little floating cup for it. That way when we're camping or off-roading and there's articulation, the bag can go ahead and come out of the little cradle without ripping. So what I'm doing to get the radius, I marked it out, and then I don't have a big saw or anything to get this in because I'm just working out of my shed. Cutting a bunch of slots into it, and then cutting it out, and then using a grinder to go ahead and finish it off into nice and smooth. So we'll keep going with that. Alright, so the two brackets are done. I threw on some paint on it. We're going to let it dry for a little bit, and then in the meantime, while this stuff is going to be drying, we're going to put up the airbags on the top section of the car with the top brackets, and then clean up this mess. Okay, so prepping the airbags, ended up putting the bracket on. It comes with a big nylon nut. From there, it just goes right on top. Tighten it down, and then I put some Teflon tape. Got the air fitting on. So first one is prepped, and then the way this works is this is going to be the outside of the car. This bracket's going to go here, sandwich it into the frame rail, and then it comes with these 3/4 inch bolts that's going to go through the frame and go through here and tighten everything down to the frame. So now we'll assemble the second one and put it in the car, measure it out, make sure everything fits properly. Okay, this is what it's looking like. I just got the airbag on. It's not tightened or anything, it's just on right now, but it slips over the frame, and then this bracket goes here. There's a little bracket that lines up and pinches it in just to stay in there. Big bolt goes through there, secures everything in, and then the cradle with the bottom piece goes around here and around the leaf springs, tightening everything. I'm probably going to put the bolt in first and then put the bracket in to make sure this doesn't move around, and we'll keep going. Okay, so this is what it's looking like right now. Got the cup on. So the bolts go through, has a bracket on the bottom, same thing towards the front, and then so the airbag is actually free to move up and down out of this cup instead of being bolted in the full time. And now we'll put on this, put on some Loctite, and put the wheel back on, start on the driver's side. Alright, ran into a little problem. The carriage bolts with the bracket are actually pretty short, and so when you put on the bracket, you're actually only getting like a couple of threads, and I just don't like that. And the reason is because I have the heavy duty leaf springs on, so they're actually a lot thicker than stock. And so I think I'm just gonna buy longer carriage bolts and then install the bottom section for the airbag. I just don't feel safe with it, and I don't want to half-ass this. So this will have to wait till tomorrow to get it installed. But I'll run the line on the passenger side, and then once I'm done with that, I'll start on the driver's side. Alright, so I ran the line, ran it up here, zip tied it, and then I ran it through some existing wiring that was up here for the tailgate lock, and ran it up the back into the connector. And then I drilled the two little fills, the holes for the air fill right there. I was gonna originally do it as the license plate, but then I don't know, I decided against it and just did it right next to it. Cool. I'm gonna put the wheel back and then go ahead and start on the driver's side, cutting the bumps up and putting up the top section of the airbag. Date for the driver's side, got the airbag in, got the bracket in, big bolt. I'm gonna leave this off till like I said, till I can get the new carriage bolts. Now we're just gonna run the air line from the back out to the fill and just put a couple of pounds of air in it just to double check that it's not leaking anywhere. Alright, well, welcome back, guys. New day. Went to go get the new carriage bolts yesterday, and so this was the stock one, and I got some extended ones. Should give me a decent amount on that bracket for when this sits here, and that way we can get the nuts on and finish this up. It kept air well all the way till today. I just let it out so I can get the new bracket on. Otherwise we should be all good, and then I'll update it once I drive it for a few days and see how it is. Thanks, guys. We'll keep going. Alright, so we got everything finished up. Got the passenger side, this bracket put on with the new bolts, and then replaced the ones on the front also. And then the driver's side is also complete. So now we'll air it up and show you guys how it lifts it up. Hey guys, it's been a couple of days. The last part of the video that I recorded didn't really come out. I wanted to show how the airbags lift up the car, but on the GoPro ended up not really showing it very well just because of the wide angle lens and stuff. So I'm not gonna put the clip in because you really can't see anything, but it's been a couple of days. The bags actually work really nice. The ride is a lot smoother. I have 15 pounds of air in it, and it's been really nice and smooth on the road. I have to adjust the bottom bracket a little bit on the passenger side because it rubs the heavy duty shock, so it makes a little squeaking noise. So I gotta adjust that a little bit, and I think besides that, everything is good so far. Like I said, I'll keep everyone updated, and thank you everyone for watching this.